Good morning, sports fans. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM and WLCN online.com. Josh Komnick along with Scott Kirby. Scott?
Good morning.
It is a good morning. Always a good morning. And we are live at 5th Street Food Mart, located at 1302 5th Street in Lincoln, for their annual March Madness event going on now. Join Jim from the Lincoln Country Morning Show and Jeff number 2 from the new nighttime Fix 96, along with the Fix 96 Prize Girls, from 10 to noon for great specials, prizes, and purchase an instant lottery ticket or lotto and spin the prize wheel for prizes, and you may qualify to win $50 Phillips 66 gas cards, an overnight jacuzzi suite stay at the beautiful Lincoln Hampton Inn. So a lot of things going on. We're almost the pregame of the big game. You know, like the pregame of the Super Bowl. I'm sure you do a little pregame before the Super Bowl. That's what our job is.
We get them all amped up, ready to go. They don't let us give away prizes.
No. We'll be taking the prizes.
I guess we're not as good looking as the prize girls.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you get old. Well, I guess you're a little older than me.
Not much.
No.
Maybe a year.
Yeah, 2. We're out here again at 5th Street Food Mart. You can come out and join us. We're talking sports. There's a lot of things going on. Of course, the big reason we're always here every year is the March Madness coming up. Obviously, Selection Sunday tomorrow. Of course, the big tournaments are going on, the Big East, the Big 12, the SEC, ACC, of course, the Big 10. A lot of those championships are tonight. There are several that are tomorrow leading up to that day, which I was just thinking this morning, Scott, and as you get older, you think of days that you really enjoy. As a 33-year-old guy, you enjoy. My favorite day now is fantasy draft. I mean, you know, when you're younger, it used to be Christmas, your birthday, when you're getting presents. Well, you no longer get a whole lot of that anymore.
Well, you're dishing the money out now for Christmas,
yeah, you're shelling it out. And as I do on our fantasy draft, I'm usually shelling out because I rarely collect any money from that. But my favorite day, my most favorite day of the year is our fantasy draft. A lot of friends, buddies, hang out, picking the football stuff. Number 2 will be tomorrow. Number 2 for me is tomorrow. I'm a basketball guy. Selection Sunday, the teams pop up. You see the crowd. A lot of teams are in gymnasiums. A lot of teams are still in uniform, just getting over their conference tournaments. That joy, that relief of some that are maybe that were on the bubble or on the bubble. Are they going to get in? And then some of them are just saying, we're in. Now let's get back to work. It's the start of a new season.
Right. You know, and like you said, Josh, right after the selections, people are running their computers and printing out their brackets. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, getting in these, fill out brackets, you know, for a little side bet. And yeah, it is a great time of the year. And it's just basketball 24/7. You know, right now we got the high school class 3A, 4A going on in Peoria. And, you know, just like you mentioned earlier, the conference tournaments, and then tomorrow Selection Sunday, and then they kick it off. They kick it off Monday night. They have like a playing game.
Yeah, there's 4 playing games since they've taken the team amount from 64 to 68. So there's 4 playing games, and those will be on Monday. So a lot of those teams are turning around and trying to figure out planes, tickets, travel, all that crazy stuff that goes along with being in the tournament. But more than likely they get that taken care of, and usually they're not too far away from the location that they're going to be at. But yes, the tournament time is here. That's the reason we're at 5th Street Food Mart, and it's packed, man. I got here at 8:15. I couldn't even find a parking spot, so the people keep flying in. Stop in. We won't have any prizes going on for the first hour, but Jim and Jeff number 2 will have those prizes from 10 to noon. All the things you can, if you buy some lottery, you get to spin the prize wheel. There's tons of prizes going on out here at 5th Street Food Mart. Cliff will be joining us here probably in the second half. He's a sports guy. He likes the basketball scene. He was just talking to me this morning a little bit about the high school. I know he got a chance to watch that. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but let's before we get into the college. Also, Scott, we were talking before the show, NFL free agency is going on. Crazy buzz. A lot of people moving, a lot of big names moving. The Bears have picked up a few people. Nice additions, I think, for the Bears. And we'll also get into a little free agency, Bears and NFL talk. But yesterday in Class 3A at Peoria, Chicago Morgan Park, who I believe is the #1 ranked team in 3A, put up a 70 spot on Bartonville Limestone, basically the home team there just outside of Peoria, 70-49. Cahokia who the team, Raider fans, if you remember, they were our first loss of the season at the Eaton Electrical Round Robin Tournament. And then they went on to beat Chatham-Glenwood last Tuesday night, who obviously beat Lincoln about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Cahokia won 56-46 over Chicago Orr. So today, I believe it's about a 2:30, a 2:15 start. Cahokia will be taking on Chicago Morgan Park for the 3A state championship. And I guess if you're a Raider fan, Scott, you get a little bit of, I don't know if it's satisfaction or it's you've lost to a team that obviously is playing for the state championship. Right. They beat the team that you got beat by, so there is some correlation there with knowing that you were right up there with some of the best teams in the state. Right,
and, you know, kind of hit rewind a little bit. You look back at our, you know, the Lincoln Eaton Electrical Tournament and the competition that's in that tournament.
Great point.
Seton Academy played for the championship last Saturday in 2A. Now you got Cahokia playing for the championship tonight. Champaign Centennial was in it. Just that tournament, we're kicking off, you know, the season.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the best tournaments in the state of Illinois, you know, as far as Thanksgiving tournaments go.
As I was playing coming up through the regular program, that was always like a tune-up, almost like a lot of the big-time colleges play the smaller schools to get some wins, get them going, as we did when I was coming up. It's no longer like that. As a guy was telling me the other day, he said, "You guys played Cahokia, right?" "Yeah, we played Cahokia." And I said, "Well, Seton Academy was there." He's like, "Holy cow, there's some good teams there," you know. So, yeah, there's no doubt a lot of those teams that we've seen, we've gotten a chance to see, are participating in Peoria. In the 4A, it was Chicago Simeon 68, Maywood Proviso East 56, and the late game Lincoln Stevenson, they won. Lincolnshire Stevenson won 60-49 over Edwardsville. And as I was before my current job, I was working at Lincoln College in admissions. Lincolnshire Stevenson was one of my schools at that time, which was about, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years ago. Their school enrollment was upwards of 4,000 kids.
Wow.
I mean, I got on the campus and it looked like I was at a small college campus. 4,000 kids to choose from. Surely you could find some basketball players.
Yeah, you can surely find 6, 7 kids that can play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, when you come out just a little community like Lincoln where, we have 700 kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing the kind of, you know, basketball atmosphere Lincoln has. And, you know, we mentioned a little bit last week, you know, that game against Chatham, the atmosphere, and that's just kudos to, you know, Lincoln people and fans, and they make that happen. So.
Yeah, it was definitely a great atmosphere. So Chicago Simeon's going to be taking on Lincolnshire Stevenson tonight. That's probably an 8:15 start. It might be a good game for a while, but Chicago Simeon, way too talented. Of course, probably the kid may not win the Mr. Basketball because he was hurt most of the year. Jabari Parker, he was really banged up. I think he's really maybe not even at full strength yet, but of course he's going to Duke. Chicago Simeon has 2 players that is going to Illinois, Kendrick Nunn and Jalon Tate, a point guard. And if you watched Illinois in this Big Ten tournament yesterday and on Thursday, we need a point guard. Tracy Abrams was not good all tournament long, and I really liked him throughout the tournament or throughout the season. But man, he had a lot of bad turnovers in the last couple days. So the Illini are in desperate need of a point guard, and hopefully they'll be getting that. But you get a chance to watch some of the guys that are going to be heading to Illinois tonight when they take on Chicago Simeon takes on Lincolnshire Stevenson for the 4A state championship. Also, we got to give a shout out. We were talking about Illini Central last Saturday. They hadn't yet won it. We thought they would, and they did. This is a little bit of old news, but we got to let all those guys know over there. State championship, second or third last year on a group with a lot of seniors, and they came back in that game. It did Mason City, and we're real happy for them. We'd love to try and get those guys on, at least Coach Gisler on the show and talk a little bit about their run and their state championship. But pretty neat for a small school like Illini Central to have a run like they did.
Right, and you know, we talked about it. I think we talked a little bit last week about moving to 4 classes. Now, if we were still in 2 classes, they may not have had that opportunity to do that, you know, because they'll be playing up against teams like a Seton Academy, or a little high.
Pleasant Plains, which they beat Pleasant Plains or Riverton, and I think they can hang with some of those schools that are in this area. But when you get into the 2A schools in Chicago, obviously the athleticism just probably takes over.
Nothing, not taking away from Mason City. That's a huge accomplishment. They, they should be proud. And
they're good.
Yeah, finished second last year, following up with a first place finish this year. Don't know. I'm sure a lot of those kids are seniors. The Entwistle kid and
the big McClure kid. I believe they were seniors.
And then their sixth man too, I guess, was pretty good coming off the bench. I can't think of his name right now.
They were fast and athletic, and our coach kind of let them go and go and go, and they pressed and they played hard on defense. So they were definitely fun to watch. So we wanted to give some props up to the Mason City folks and listening on 96.3 FM. Scott, we got to take a quick commercial break. We're out here at 5th Street Food Mart. Stop out here at least till noon, because the rest of the gang here at 96.3 is going to have some prizes and things going with that. So stop on out here, 1302 5th Street in Lincoln. That's where we are, 5th Street Food Mart. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 FM and WLCN online. And we're live out at 5th Street Food Mart, located at 1302 5th Street in Lincoln, for their annual March Madness event going on now. Join Jim from the Lincoln Country Morning Show and Jeff number 2 from the new Nighttime Fix 96, along with the Fix 96 prize girls from 10 to noon for great specials, prizes, and purchase an instant lottery ticket and win the prize for prize off wheel. And you may qualify for a $50 Phillips 66 gas card, maybe an overnight jacuzzi suite stay at the beautiful Lincoln Hampton Inn, which I could use one of those.
Yeah, I can sit in a jacuzzi for a while.
It'll be perfect tomorrow.
Yeah. Be like Jello.
Turn on the selection Sunday and just hang out there right across from Cracker Barrel out there. Order some grub. You got all that kind of stuff that you need right there. So stop on out here at 5th Street Food Mart. We're talking sports now. The rest of the guys from the 96.3 crew will be here from 10 to noon. You can get all those prizes. They don't allow us a prize wheel.
I was going to ask that. We're probably not qualified to win. Well, then.
No. We're man. You've got to have an age. It's an age limit to have the prize wheel, and we haven't hit that yet, Scott.
Oh, there's a certain age?
Yeah, a certain age. We got to hit it before you get there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Hey, not only basketball coming up, but before we get into all that, we wanted to hit the free agency football market. You're the Bears report guru for the Chicago Bears, and we've got Scott Kirby here to talk some Bears and also all the other things going on. I have no idea, and I don't follow football a lot after it's over. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Right now it's probably my most favorite sport to watch. Even basketball, football. There's just something about it. I don't know if because I didn't play it or whatever it is. I really love watching football. How do you let Wes Welker go from the Patriots for, what did he get, like $2 million a year?
Yeah, it was a $2 million difference. He's getting $6 million a year at Denver for 2 years. The Patriots offered him $5 million for 2 years.
How do you let that go?
Well, I don't know. What I think they're thinking is they went and picked up
the kid that was in St. Louis.
The kid from St. Louis, can't even pronounce his last name.
I know you're talking about.
He's about 5 years younger. So they're looking for the future, but he's injury prone.
Yeah,
he's always hurt.
Not that Welker's not, but that guy could catch and run. What did he catch, 100 and some balls this year?
110, and he's done it 5 years, I believe, and he's the only NFL player that has ever caught 110 passes each year for 5 years. If I'm right there, I'm pretty sure I heard that the other day. But I don't know. Tom Brady was a little upset that he didn't get his go-to guy.
Rightfully so.
But,
that's 110 completions.
Yeah.
You're not going to have – well, I'm not saying that the Amendola or whatever his name is not going to catch some balls, but, boy, this guy is a Patriot. You just think of Wes Welker, you think of the Patriots.
You look at his numbers when he was with the Dolphins. You look at his numbers with the Dolphins, Wes Welker, they didn't really start to he didn't get those numbers till he got to New England. So I think it might be the system. So we'll see what this Danny Amendola does, coming from St. Louis. I think his biggest year, he had maybe 83 catches, 667 yards or something like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. And, I heard a good thing they were talking about the other day about what quarterbacks make players into becoming Hall of Famers or get big paychecks because of the quarterback. If he's anywhere else Welker, he's probably never even close to what he's getting. You know, money-wise, catch-wise, all that kind of thing. There's a ton of quarterbacks that have done that. Peyton Manning has done that to a number of different people.
Right.
Now he goes to the Broncos, and smokes, are they going to have an offense?
Yeah, they've got 3 top quality receivers now in Wes Welker, Eric Decker, and then Denarius Thomas.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're going to be good, and it's
he's playing for the Patriots. Yeah. Plus the tight ends. I mean, they've got good tight ends. They've got good running backs. I don't know how anybody will stop him. Not a lot of people stopped him this year.
No.
But now when they throw Welker into the mix, and you know he's going to work his tail off, going to be that same type of slot receiver that he was for the Patriots. Manning would just sit back there, and not that he didn't revive his years in football last year with his comeback. Man, he's going to be the hottest commodity fantasy quarterback there is.
He's going to pick teams apart. They're going to be a high-caliber offense, and maybe, I don't know, they may need to lose a linebacker or a defensive end.
Dumervil.
We were talking about.
Yeah, weird deal. Listening to it on the way in this morning, Elvis Dumervil, from what I understand, was going to get $12 million a year. Well, the Broncos didn't want to pay him that. So he was going to agree to get it cut down to, I believe, $8 million a year. So they got the thing sent over. He was going to sign it, send it back, and this is all Mountain Time. Now I'm just giving you the situation they gave me on the radio. This is Mountain Time, and it had to be in before 2 o'clock. He sends the fax with a signed new contract to the Broncos at 1:53 Mountain Time. They don't receive it in Mountain Time until 2:04, 2:03, something like that. 2 o'clock is the deadline. So in the meantime, between 2 o'clock and 2:04, the Broncos had put him on free agency. Dumerville's thinking, I just signed a new contract. I'll be ready to go. Nope, not now.
He took a $4 million pay cut, turned into a $12 million pay cut.
Scan it, take a picture with your phone, send it. I don't care how you got to do it. There's better ways than a fax. And also, now they were complaining, well, we've had the faxes do this. We want to turn it into the league because of the phone quality or the quality of the fax holding it in. Don't send it 4 minutes before you need to get it in there.
If I got $8 million on the table, I'm probably going to fly there and personally deliver it the day before.
Send it 30 minutes. You already knew what you were going to do.
Right.
Send it 30 minutes before. Send it 20 minutes before, and you're going to have any problems.
Well, he's going to. Well,
that's your
dumb
fault.
We'll see how that unfolds, but
I'd like to see him wearing a Bear uniform. As we were talking about, they don't have a lot of money, but if they unload Urlacher, which you think they should, they will free up a lot of money, where this Dumervil, I think he's an end type of linebacker type of guy. So put him there at linebacker. You've got Briggs. We lost Roach.
Right.
We need some help on the defensive side.
We need a lot of help on defense. They've really been concentrating on offense right now, signing Martellus Bennett, the black unicorn. And I don't know if anybody's heard his interview, but he's a character. And then they go
the black unicorn.
They call him he calls himself the black unicorn. It's a long story. You can get online. He's a unique character. Loves the game. But then they go out and sign a offensive left tackle.
Tell you, there's a unique character right there.
Just walking in the door. It's like he just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
So, the Bears are on the move. We need some linebacker help. Defense is getting old. So we need to get some young kids in there. I don't know what kind of linebackers are in the draft. But
I know one of them, but he had a bad girlfriend experience, so I don't know how he's going to do.
His stock is moving down pretty quick, so he may fall down to 20. But the Bears are looking to trade out of that 20 spot, looking to trade down to get some more picks. So.
Well, we need it. Also, the lineman. We got offensive lineman from where was he? Big boy.
Saints.
Saints, big boy. They say he's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, he's a two-time Pro Bowler. He was with the Saints for 5 years. Jermon Bushrod.
Big contract.
Yeah,
one of the bigger in offensive line history, I think.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know the numbers on that, but yeah,
$37 million or something. Yeah,
that sounds about 5 years, $37 million. Yeah. Well, that's what the Bears need.
A lot to protect the backside of Cutler.
Yeah, this is Cutler's contract year, so they're putting the pieces around him for him to succeed. Now it's all up to him.
Right.
We'll see what kind of quarterback he really is. You can't complain anymore about not having. We still need a speed receiver. somebody that can spread the field and get down the field to, take care of that free safety and strong safety. But he's got, some quality receivers. He's got an excellent tight end now. He's got your left tackle. We still have a couple of, some more line issues, offensive line issues, but we'll see how the draft goes. Free agency isn't over yet. Like you mentioned, Josh, they haven't signed Urlacher. It's kind of bittersweet. Yes, Urlacher's been with the Bears for, 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And as a fan standpoint, you want to see your team improve. If you sign him to a big contract, you're not improving your team because he can't play.
Right.
His game is all speed, lateral, sideline to sideline, and able to drop back in that cover two, and he just can't do it anymore. And he's never been a hole filler, a run stuffer, and he's lost that aspect to his game. So you can't sign him to a big contract.
Well, and I think there'll be the only reason that they would do that would be for fans.
Yeah, but once you start letting fans dictate what you do for your team, you're going to turn into the Dallas Cowboys, or you're going to turn into the Yankees, where you're dishing out all this money for people that are washed up and can't play the game. So you got to look on the other side of it. What do we need to do to improve our team for the future and now? And signing him he's wanting $5 million a year. I'm not giving him any more than $2 million. That's
just because you don't have it. Well, you might. I don't know.
I can't give him $2, but these guys throw out money like it's just it's amazing. And baseball is the worst. People getting $35 million a year or 25, whatever it is, and man, it's
we are wrong occupation.
My genes weren't good enough,
But you can try. But Mariano Rivera's still playing. I mean, he's older than you.
Yeah, he's like 50, but man, this is his last year.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to give it one more year.
I don't know if he'll make it a full year, Josh. He set out last year with an injury.
Yeah.
A little pregame outfield fly ball catching. Tore his ACL or something, and that's a tough injury to overcome, as Bulls fans know. Derrick Rose, he's got the go ahead to play. Go ahead to play, and he's
why. That might be a different topic. And why don't we just run into that real quick?
Well, I just changed it.
Football's kind of in, but I'm getting irritated at the ESPN guys that they want Rose to come back. He's cleared. He doesn't feel comfortable. Can the Bulls do anything in the playoffs?
No, absolutely
they have
not.
Zero talent.
But what the doctors are saying, the next step to recovery is getting out there and playing, because he's done everything that he can. Now it's just game speed.
So do it in pickup games over the summer.
Well, they say it's different because it's not game speed. But
I understand,
it's all mental too. If he's not out there 100% mental and he's favoring that leg, he's going to hurt something else.
Yeah, he will. And he said he's not comfortable until he can dunk off of his left foot, I believe it is. But man, I don't want to bring him back too early just to get 2 wins.
Right. Yeah, and he's the future of the Bulls. He's their franchise player.
Yeah, I don't agree. I
don't force him into something he's not ready to do.
Bring him back and pick up somebody in free agency this year, because there's no chance. If we didn't have the best coach in the league, which I really think he's the best coach in the league, to win as many games as he does with this team, Carlos Boozer and Dang are your best players, and I love Noah. He gives everything he's got. He's been great this year. Well, they have nothing.
Well, they started off the season on fire, but now this long season's taking a toll on them.
As hard as they play,
with all the minutes that they're putting in, as hard as they play,
their bench
they're
is
just
terrible.
They're run down, and it doesn't matter what you do right now. There's no pieces that you can add to this team.
No.
You're not going to get past Miami Heat.
No, no, and they're in your division. And just say you even get to that point where you're playing the Heat, that's a good year.
Right.
But you're not going to – I don't think you're going to do any different if you have Rose. One, they haven't played together all year. Two, the Heat are just ridiculously on fire.
Yeah.
And they're really good. And so you may win one more game in the playoffs against the Heat rather than – okay, you might not get swept. You might go 4-1 or whatever. You won't get swept. So whoop-dee. that doesn't do a whole lot to bring a guy back and rush him back and take a chance on. I just think, keep working it out, getting maybe it's full strength now, but he's not comfortable. If he's not comfortable, then he's not going to play at 100%. And they always say if you're not 100%, you're not going to play at 100%. You're a lot more likely to get injured. And doing that. So I'm totally against it. All the ESPN guys, I listened to Russillo and Van Pelt. They want him back now. They're an NBA guys, and I just don't agree with wanting him back. I love the guy. He's a great player. He's fun to watch, but I'm just not. I just don't want to see him go down again.
Well, there was 2 other guys that did the same thing last year, about the same time Rose did. The Ricky Rubio. He tore his ACL, and the other kid from, I can't think where he's from, but they said they came back too early.
Yeah.
They wish they would have set out another month or so. But
yeah, what's there, a couple months left of the season, a month?
Yeah. And,
let him get it fully strengthened and play some pickup games and get Duncan off that left foot and have him ready for next year.
Yeah, coming out the gates next year.
Pick up a new guy. Get some talent on this team. You put some talent on this team with this coach, and the kids want to play hard, guys want to play hard. I mean, he's the best in the league, bar none. Yeah, you can't win that many games with the people that he's got.
No,
so
no, not.
I'm not for it, but we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't think they're ready to bring him back. Really, if they were ready to bring him back, and the big guys in the Bulls organizations can say, get back in there. You're ready. Doctors have cleared you. Why aren't you playing?
Well, they're not going to do that.
They're already selling out, so what's the difference? They're sold out.
The one thing it would take a little more pressure off of Joakim and Luau.
Yeah.
Boozer, I don't see him being back next year. He's just old, and he started off the season on fire. Should have made the All-Star game, but didn't, and he's just worn down. And you can see it. They lost by 40-some points the other night.
Yeah.
And there's no energy, or their legs are gone.
We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. We are at 1302 5th Street for the March Madness kickoff, the pregame, the tailgating, the pregame for the cheap seats, and then the big dogs in the industry take over from 10 to noon. So we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. You're in the cheap seats, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.